1, 2, 3, 4.
Mrs. and a mic, you don't need much more.
4 misses.
Come on.
4 misses.
Come on.
5, 6, 7, 8.
It's your favorite podcast, so save the date.
4 misses.
Come on.
4 misses.
Come on. 4 misses and a mic. Come on. 4 misses and a mic. Come on.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Welcome to 4 Mrs. and a Mic. Thank you so much for listening and commenting and following us. We really, really appreciate it. I am CJ.
This is CC.
This is L.
And it's Bree.
Y'all notice that rhymes?
Wait, what rhymes?
CJ, CC, L,
and
and Bree.
It could be a song.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, Bree on the mic.
today's question we want to address is, do you check his phone?
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we want to encourage all of the male listeners to stop. No, I'm just kidding.
This is the point where you turn off your
Yes, this one's not for you guys. No, we're kidding.
earmuffs.
Earmuffs. That's a good one. Earmuffs. Earmuffs for the next 20 to 30 minutes. That's a big one. I guess we should tackle it if we do or not.
Who
And then
rests
is it
themselves out
okay or
first?
not?
I can go first.
Oh, okay. So I have no problem.
I can go first. The answer is actually no. I do not check his phone. I have never checked his phone, actually. And for me, it's because, one, I trust him, and I trust that he is doing the right thing. And I trust that if anything questionable should pop up in his DMs or his messages or his texts, that he will shut it down.
What's done in the dark comes to light.
I think we should keep a tally. So CJ says no.
Right.
That's
But-
one for the nose.
But it's also
Right there
it's
on my
a
card.
lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I just don't have the time or the patience to go through the phone and check it. I'm just not trying to do all of that. So
All right.
So we have one note.
She's actually keeping a physical tally on a piece of paper, guys. I just want y'all to know that right now. Go ahead.
Right now we're one no, 0 yes. I have to go next?
Yes. She's nervous. So I think we know what the answer is.
So I will say I used to every once in a while. Not because I felt like I needed to, but because I carried the baggage from previous relationships into this one.
So he never gave you a reason to distrust him.
No.
But because in the past you have checked and found things, you think it was kind of like old habits die hard?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well,
an
do-
occasional,
do you
maybe
still?
just snoop every once in a while.
Okay. So 1 no, 1 yes?
We'll put a maybe.
No, you get a yes.
All right, so we're 1 to
No
1.
fence riding. L.
I check his phone, but not trying to check anything that he's doing, but because I'm nosy.
That's honestly fair.
I'm very nosy. And I just sometimes want to see, what he talks about, to his friends or, who he's talking to or whatever. I don't know. I'm just nosy.
Okay. So I'm not really sure what category my answer falls into. I don't check his phone, but I pick up his phone all the time, and I have the unlock code, and he knows I will grab his phone to look something up or to answer something or whatever. So I don't know.
So that would be a yes.
Now, I think mine is more of a maybe than yours because I'm not checking it, but I go through his phone for other reasons. And I guess feel like if there was something to see, I would see it.
Well, that's kind of what it is for me too. I mean, I'm not looking for anything. It's just like, let me just see. What you
Right,
got.
and I was about to try to lampoon you, but I can't because I just realized that once upon a time, I did check his phone. And when I mean once upon a time, I mean like 10 years ago.
So are
And
you a
I
yes or
did find something.
Oh.
And it did result in a big argument.
So you do check to see if there's just a
No,
little bit of something.
Say I did check, not I do. Because truthfully, I 100% trust. And kind of like what CJ said, if there's something to be found, I'll find it. I don't need to go looking for it.
Right, I agree. I don't think any of us really check.
You know what they say? If you're looking for dirt, you come up dirty. Like
Yeah.
I truly believe if he's out there slinging whatever, I'll find it out. Especially because chicks love to embarrass other chicks nowadays. So I guess somebody would pop up and tell me, I got your man. I mean, I would know. So
I mean, I absolutely, positively, trust my husband, and I don't ever think, I'm gonna find anything. I mean, his cell phone code is my cell phone code. Like, he uses my code. So
is that because he can't remember anything?
I have no idea, but it's quite funny. But it's just, I don't know. I'm always like, oh, it's so cute. He's talking to his friends, and he's like, are you my mom or my wife? Like,
I'm both. Love.
I don't know.
I'm both.
So it's never like, oh, I'm checking to see if he's doing wrong. It's just simply being nosy.
So I'm just going to give y'all an update.
So what's the tally now?
3 yeses and 1 no.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So the majority.
So the yeses
yes.
have it.
I feel you gave me a yes, but not on purpose. I didn't want to be a
Because
yes.
I think we all agree that we're not checking because we trust our situations. It's just like,
But
oh, what you talking about? Oh, what you doing?
also,
It's
I
just,
think it helps that none of our husbands seem very secretive about their phones. If your husband was the kind of guy that he always put the phone face down, it was never left alone, then you might be more inclined to probably go through it. My husband doesn't hide his phones from me whatsoever. It's not like always on vibrate or, if you give me a reason to be suspicious, maybe I'd be more suspicious. But if, you kind of just put it out there, then I feel like there's really nothing, which now that I think about it, could be the biggest reverse psychology con. And that could be how he's keeping me from really digging for stuff.
but there are some people that are listening right now that are like, oh, y'all are so naive.
Yeah.
So what do you say to those people?
So I say this. I have access to his phone. Like, I know his phone code. He knows my phone code. So if ever there was the suspicion that something is going on or I need to see what's happening, I have access to it. It's not that I don't have access. I just don't feel the need to check it. So I don't think I'm being naive, and I definitely think we know that men and women are capable of doing things that can, hurt the relationship.
Right.
So he's not being secretive with it. I have access. I just don't feel the need to go through it.
So speaking about you having access, do you feel as though it's okay in a marriage for you to not have access? Do you feel it's okay for a husband to tell his wife or a wife to tell a husband, no, you don't get to have the passcode to my phone?
No, it is not okay.
I agree.
Yeah, I think when you commit to the marriage, you are committing to the relationship and to having that information be accessible to both parties. And for me, I feel like, what are you doing in your phone that I don't have access? That makes me even more suspicious.
Right.
That's true.
I can honestly say I just don't have the time to even remember to try to figure out a passcode that he wouldn't think about, because I would forget it myself, because our passcodes are about each other.
Now, I will say, dating in the past, I've been in relationships where I felt like every chance I got, I needed to check the phone.
Absolutely. Oh.
And
the one I would have most wanted to check on, I don't even remember if he had a phone. He probably did have a phone. He just didn't have it around me, so I wouldn't see all the stuff he was doing.
I found ways.
Man.
right.
Man.
I
Can I
found
tell
ways
y'all
to go
something
through
funny?
phones.
So, speaking of infidelitous men and phone checking, I have a friend who I hope is listening. He's very near and dear to my heart. He's actually one of my baby's godfathers. And he always had a phone that he would hide. The reason he had the phone that he would hide, he wasn't doing the dirt on the hidden phone. He would do the dirt on the main phone. But if his wife ever came to him about the main phone, he would blow up at her. Just, you don't trust me, you don't believe me, this phone is what's coming between us. And then he would smash the phone so that it's broken and she can't see what's on it. And then he would use the hidden phone to continue to communicate with the women he was cheating on her
Wow.
with. Right.
That's, ooh.
Yes.
Did you just out him like that?
I don't think he has a problem. They're divorced now.
Oh.
I can
Now that
see
we got
why.
that off the record. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think he feels as though I just gave up his secret. They are no longer
Good deal.
together. But that's just, I mean, but I suppose she felt like she needed to always check his phone. And I mean, there's, extreme sleuthing that some women do when it comes to that kind of thing. I think it really all boils down to trust.
Right.
Now, speaking of checking the phones and trust, because I'm assuming it would be a trust betrayal if your husband knew that you were secretly checking his phone behind his back. If you did find something, would you out yourself by confronting him about it, or would you keep quiet?
I would definitely not keep quiet. I would have the phone in my hand while I'll confront him.
And you would pitch it at his head? Oops, I did that.
No, because then it might break and the evidence will be gone.
I didn't think about that at the moment. I just threw it at his head.
Yes, I would confront him right away.
I would wait a little while first.
Oh, so you're going to think about it.
Yeah.
And stew. So the blow up would be way worse.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Wait to see if there's anything else that surfaces.
Poor Mr.
During that
CC. You know what it is?
Good strategy.
You're going to think about all of the things that he could say to explain it away and completely
Negate
nullify
it all.
them. Yes. So it's like, no, I thought about that and that's not true because that poor man. So what about you, CJ?
I would
This is gonna be good.
need some time to formulate my strategy.
Now, is this a strategy for confrontation or is this a strategy for castration?
Just a strategy for confrontation.
Oh, okay.
Because I need to make sure that after I blow up and I turn everything upside down, that I know what I'm doing next. Because
Wait, what?
there's
Angela Bassett over there.
there's nothing worse than tearing shit up and then not knowing what your next move is.
That's
because
true.
then you just stand there and look stupid.
With broken shit.
Yes.
Correct. So my answer is I would 100% confront him, and I don't care that he feels like I betrayed his trust because apparently I needed to not trust you in the first place because you were out there doing dirty. As evidenced by the fact that when I found something out, I immediately went and threw the phone at his head. He was asleep, and I woke him up like that. So...
I've witnessed Miss CJ's destruction.
I haven't. I kind of want to.
Yeah, no, I would need some time to...
See, I feel like that's worse though. Like if you're being that methodical about it instead of just blowing up at the moment, because you're really gonna stew about it.
It involved
Well-
pictures and a lighter.
Oh,
So it's not even about stewing. It's just about making sure that the situation is so dramatic that if I decide I'm staying with you, you will never think about doing it again.
so it is about confrontation and castration.
So, perfect example. Mr. CJ, when we first started dating, I will never forget, we are sitting on the sofa and he
This
has...
sofa?
No, not this sofa.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
And
That's some bad juju right here. Should I move?
we are sitting on the sofa and he has his phone out. So mind you, this is very early in our relationship. And like I told you, I don't go through the trouble of checking the phone. But he is sitting next to me texting somebody else,
Well, that's just rude.
right? So I could have lost my marbles right then and there on the sofa, right? But I didn't. I thought about it. I had to side eye and read the text to make sure I understood what was going on.
Oh, you mean like that picture of Jay-Z and Beyonce courtside, and she's looking forward, but her eyes are on Jay's phone.
Yeah, I had to side eye and I let the conversation go on for 2 or 3 text messages so I could be sure about what I was reading. Yeah. And then that night I left. So after the phone conversation was over, I decided I needed to leave. It's okay, I'm going home. I'll see you later. So I had to go home because I had to evaluate the situation. He and I were not very serious at the time. I don't even know if we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, maybe we were. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But I had to decide, do I want to keep talking to this guy or not? So I went home and I thought about it for a little bit. So the next morning he texted me. You know those good morning texts? I got the good morning text and I went in. Okay. I went in. told him what I saw, told him what was happening, told him don't text my phone anymore, don't call me.
The shutdown.
She was all, forget you know my number, forget you know my name. Like, okay.
But luckily enough, he put in the work to get back in my good graces. And we have never had any situation like that again.
So you think you definitely established what behavior was okay and what wasn't. So it was kind of like a good thing that maybe you snooped a little bit because it allowed you guys to grow.
It did, but it's only because he was willing to put in the work to rectify the situation.
And because you were willing to walk away if he wasn't.
Yes.
Boundaries.
Yes.
Gotcha. So let's say we look through the phone, we find something, we confront him about it. You know, he does the work to get past it. Does that mean that we never check the phone again?
Cricket.
For me, I did not. But there was so much work that we, both put in collectively after that happened that I'm very comfortable with where we are in our relationship. But I think for other people, they definitely would have continued to check the phone.
I think at that point, for me, it would definitely be I'm checking it.
Yeah. Well, you check it anyways, right? Weren't you a yes?
Sometimes for other reasons.
Other reasons? Like what, Cece? You want to elaborate any? Or no, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. No, but seriously.
Just because I'm nosy.
So you and Elle.
We're nosy.
Team nosy.
We're nosy folks.
Team nosy. Now, let's delve into this a little bit. What are we looking for? I mean, the obvious is that he's carrying on some affair with some other woman or something like that. But what about just him communicating, albeit on a friendly level, but personally one-on-one with another female? Is that okay?
So I don't have a problem with that because I feel like I know the females that he talks to.
I was going to say, and your husband has female friends a la me.
Right. He always has been the chick magnet. So people that he's worked with, they all flock to him. Mm-hmm. But I can't ever say that I felt threatened by any of the ones that he's been friends with. So that doesn't, my radar doesn't go up when I see that he's talking to other females.
So you're totally okay with him being out in the world, meeting a woman?
Now, I'll say that, they're not going out on dates or anything.
Well,
not going shopping together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't control that piece of it. So it doesn't bother me that he does. Because it's always been that way, though. Let me say that. So we started off, and he worked with a bunch of females. So,
right. So I kind of disagree. I feel like, if it's a female that I know and, you kind of came into the relationship with a friendship with, if you were really close to you, for instance, and you guys, have been friends this long, and before me, you guys had a friendship, I would be totally okay with that. I'm not okay with you carrying on non-work related conversations with someone you work with.
I say no new friends.
Yeah, it's basically like that because I feel like you don't need to make any new female friends. The ones you have plus me should be all you need. The same way, I don't think he would be okay if I were out, met a guy, he seemed really cool, and we're exchanging numbers, and now we're chit-chatting. That would be a line cross for me, and I'm sure for him as well. And even if that number exchange began on a professional level, once it strayed from that, I feel like that's a boundary that's been crossed, and I'm not okay with that. Even if the conversation was innocent enough, I just don't feel like you and that person need to be interacting in that manner. If it started with, when is this shipment going out, that's fine. But then if you guys are chit-chatting about the basketball game, why are you talking to her about it? You can talk to me about it. You can talk to your guy
Or
friends
just
about
like,
it.
what you're doing. Oh, no, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's
or,
weird.
good morning, good... What? No, that's not okay. So, that's just how I see it. What about you?
I think if it's someone he works with and it's about work-related activities, that's one thing. If it's a personal conversation, that's not okay. And I know for a fact that he does not have a lot of female friends, especially not female friends he had before we got married. So there really is not a reason for him to be carrying on a personal conversation with a woman. Like there's not really any reason for it.
Okay. So do you feel like any relationship can survive without trust? In that regard, like if you honestly, like let's say you check the phone, he had actually been, doing whatever with someone else, but you guys really worked hard, got back on track, got past it. Do you feel like you can 100% trust him later, or if not, can the relationship still survive?
I think the relationship survives with an asterisk by it. Because at that point, I feel like I really need to check on you from time to time. Now, 20 years down the line, I don't know. But I know in the first couple weeks, months, days, maybe even years, it's an asterisk.
So when you say checking up, are we talking like, let me FaceTime you and show me you're at work?
No.
Or
No.
Or are you talking just, snooping through the phone?
It would be snooping.
So it's not, take a picture in your uniform holding my name on a piece of paper.
No, that's too much. No, that's too much.
I think it depends on the person, because some people will need that. Some people will need I found something in your phone. I don't trust you. We are putting in the work to get past it, but FaceTime me when you get where you say you're going, or, shoot me a text or a phone call. Let me know who you're with or who you're around. Some people need that. And I think that if you messed up, you need to give them that.
So it's like, say my name, if no one is around you, say baby,
But I
love
feel
you.
like if people are going to do what they want to do, they'll find time to do it. Because you can FaceTime me and then just make sure your angle is this way. And
that's why you got to be a little smarter than them. Pan the room, okay? Pan the room.
360.
Put the camera above your head so I can see if someone's behind you, okay? Put it on the floor so I can check for feet. Okay, you have to.
If that's what it takes.
If that's where you are, do
takes.
you? No, seriously. I think if it's at that point, you probably should just walk your separate ways. For instance, I know of someone who went out to eat. This is a guy who went out to eat with my husband, and his girlfriend saw a photograph that he posted on social media of his food. In the photograph on the table was my husband's cell phone. She calls him to say, whose cell phone is that next to your plate of wings? Like, I feel like if you're looking that hard, you don't trust him. And you probably, because you're either going to stress yourself to death, or you're just going to piss him off so bad because you're smothering him so much that he walks away. So you probably both should just
let it
walk away. Let it go. It's just not going to, the trust is broken, whether that's your fault or not, and walk away. It's just not going to work. And that might be how, you lost out on a really great person because you broke the trust and they could never get over that.
Yep.
And that's the one that got away, and that's your own fault. And you just have to be 95 years old and, in your rocker with your Depends on, really sad.
Really.
First of all, at 95, incontinence is totally normal, okay? Second of all, I think that, that's just some people's reality. They messed up, but you learned a lesson. So maybe you don't mess up with the next one. So the census is we do, but we trust them.
Yeah.
You guys do. I don't. I trust my man.
I just want to put like a.
We all trust.
I trust my man too.
We're just nosy.
I just want to put a disclaimer. When we say we check them, I don't think any of us said that we're actually digging for anything. It's just kind of like a transparency, basically, with the phones. Absolutely. So if you find yourself, every time he goes to the restroom, trying to figure out what his passcode is, or when he's asleep putting his thumbprint on the home button so you can open it to check his DMs, maybe you need to reevaluate the point of the relationship.
Reevaluate.
And Apple is very slick, because let me tell you, that Face ID, their eyes have to be open, because I definitely was like, she's just gonna wait till you go to sleep and put the phone in front of your face and open it and boom, and you'll never know. And and then you can totally mark things unread, so he don't know you read them.
Oh, wait a minute. It sounds like
Yeah, you
Yes.
You might be giving away too many of your secrets.
I don't have any secrets. Listen, I don't do this. I'm just telling you from what I've been told.
what I was told.
Baby, I promise I don't do this. No, seriously. So, do we have a question this week, guys?
I believe we do.
Oh, I think we do. Yes, it was Genevieve, right?
Yep.
From Metairie. So Genevieve from Metairie wrote in, and her question was, "Hey, four misses, I just want to know, I have tattoos, and my boyfriend's okay with the ones that I have, but I want to get some more, and he's not a fan. Do I need his permission?" So what do we think? What should we tell Genevieve?
That's a good one, Genevieve.
I know. See, me personally, I kind of feel like it's your body, it's your choice. But I think you should hear him out. Like, if his reasons are silly.
I think if we give this answer, it's gonna be based on our own relationships. For me, like, I value what he says. So if he was like, I don't think you should do that, I probably would be like, you're right, I probably shouldn't. Unless it's something I really, really, really wanted, and then I would push and, hey, don't you think that it would be cute? Or I'll just try to present it a different way and try to shift his thought process.
Yeah.
But then if he's still like a negative, a no, I'll just leave it alone. That's me though.
I'd probably get it because I know my husband and he's not gonna like leave because I got a tattoo.
Mm-hmm. I hope your marriage wouldn't be that fragile.
Obviously. So, I mean, I would probably still get it, but like Cece said, I do value his opinion though, so I don't know. That's a tough one.
So, like, I value his opinion. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would hear him out, but if his reasons weren't good enough, then I'm still gonna do it. I mean, it's my body.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I value his opinion, and I would definitely ask why he thinks I shouldn't get one, see what his reasons are, see if I feel they're valid, and I would definitely argue my side and try to win him over in that regard. And I guess it would also depend on how important this tattoo is to me. Does it really mean something to me? Am I getting it just because I feel like I need to just add another piece of artwork and it doesn't really mean anything? It's not that important. I think it would just depend on what it means to me. Because if it's really, really important, I would fight hard for it. But if it's not that important and I'm getting it just because, I would probably consider his feelings in my decision.
So do you think that it would also be okay the other way around if there was something he really wanted to do to his body and he was headstrong about it, even if it wasn't anything that mattered so much to him, it was just kind of like a beautification, body modification type thing, and you were against it? Do you think that he should listen to what you're saying, or do you think he would just be like, me man, me do what me want?
No, I think it goes both ways. I think that if I am willing to consider his opinion and his thoughts about something that I'm doing to my body, then he should be willing to consider my opinion and how I feel about something he's doing to his body. I think it goes both ways. And
I think it goes both ways. I think depending on how severe the modification is, it could be a deal breaker. You know, I mean, if you're going to do the Mike Tyson, and I have to look at that every day, oh, that might be tough, you know? Or if you decide you want to, like, the tongue split and turn into a unicorn or something.
Or if it's something, like, you know, dangerous where you're
that
like,
also,
I don't want you to go through that.
Because
you know?
I could lose you from it. Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
But she already has tattoos. I kind of feel like it's your body, it's your choice.
Right.
And she did say boyfriend. She did not say husband. So that's another thing because, you know, we have not committed our lives together yet. So I don't know if I'm going to let you keep me from being great.
And you have to accept the fact that he may not want to stick around if he's very serious about you not getting that tattoo as well.
Right. Exactly. So I guess what matters more to you, Genevieve, the tattoo or the boo?
Yeah.
That was a cute rhyme.
Yep.
Right. I like that one.
But let me also say this. It depends on where this tattoo is going, because if this is a tattoo on your forehead,
that is very true.
Right.
That is a deal breaker all around.
Yeah.
That's probably.
Unless, what is that guy? Lil Smoker Pup or something like that? What's the one?
I have no idea
know.
who you.
That's like the new hot thing I've noticed with like the rappers. They look like, you remember when we were graduating and we had those little bears and you could sign on the bears and, they could.
That's the Care Bears.
Leave.
Right?
No, it was like a little dog.
Oh, I know
what
which one you're talking about.
You wrote like best wishes, keep in touch with phone number on it.
Doodle
that's kind of like how their faces are starting to look. So maybe for us, that's a deal breaker. But maybe, because I don't know how old Genevieve is, maybe for her, it's not. Maybe she's not so turned off by a forehead tattoo.
So basically, we're saying, Genevieve, you and your boyfriend need to have a conversation, weigh the pros and cons, strongly consider what he's saying, and decide how much you value his opinion in the matter.
Correct.
Yep.
Just make sure his point is valid and it's not something like, well, I just don't like Tweety Bird, so I don't think you should put Tweety Bird on your ankle. Because if you really like Tweety Bird, then you should get your Tweety Bird tattoo.
All right. On that note.
Yeah, CJ, can you give us how we can be contacted?
Wait, before you I just want to say that I feel as though you
All
guys
right.
are always trying to shut me up.
Again, thank you guys for listening and hanging out with us. You can follow us on Instagram at 4Mrs. and a Mic. And you can also...
Sorry, guys. We're just struggling today.
So you know what? No, the listeners need to hear this. We're going to give you a little behind the scenes really fast.
No, we're not.
So,
You can also...
Because Cece is up here telling me that I need to be quiet. No, will not be censored. Okay, Tweety Bird deserves his just due, all right? He has quite a following. A lot of people like that little bird, all right? You're not going to do that to him.
We're just not going to get Tweety Bird tattooed on our face.
But she might like that. Genevieve, you know what, girl?
If
listen,
that's the case, I'm with
Genevieve.
her boyfriend and she don't need to get the tattoo in the first
Genevieve, listen to your girl Bree, okay? Listen to me. You do whatever you want. And if he does not love you for who you are, then you find somebody who does.
CJ, take us to the credits.
CJ,
And you can also email us questions or comments at 4mrsandamic@gmail.com. That is the number 4mrsandamic@gmail.com. Thank you again for hanging out with us. This is CJ.
CC.
L.
and Bree. And I just want to leave you guys with a really important quote. I feel like it's a bit relevant to what we talked about today by a very prophetic group by the name of Destiny's Child. You acting kind of shady. Ain't calling me baby. Why the sudden change? Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye.